came up, you know, in a conversation with a friend of mine over lunch, and he was laughing. He said, "Wow, that could be a great idea." And I thought about it, and you know, I've always been a fan of Woody's, and I worked with him a little bit, and I just thought it would be an interesting combination. And I blabbed it to my barber, hair cutter, who cuts his hair. Basically, he said that, listen, you'd be a pimp, and John would be your prostitute, you know what I mean, or streetwalker. And Woody loved the idea. So my barber called me up, this is a true story, and Anthony, and he said, listen, I have really good news for you. I said, what are you talking about? And he said, Woody wants to talk to you. So I set up he said, please call him. I said, please call Woody. And I told him, and he said, that's really funny. He said, you know, and a couple of things he said, well, that's not funny. You know, that could be funny. And so we talked about it, and he said, okay, listen, you work on it, you write it, and I'll edit it. And we'll go back and forth that way. He said, but you basically be the writer, and I'll be the editor. And I just thought it would be a really interesting combination, him and I together. So not that it would be like Of Mice and Men, but you know, sort of like Midnight Cowboy meets Broadway Danny Rose. You know what I mean? So it's this, you know, journey that these two guys get involved with, and all the ramifications and trouble that they get into. And Sharon Stone plays Woody's dermatologist, who's quite wealthy, and Sofia Vergara plays her good friend, who's like a glasses designer, and Vanessa Paradis plays a woman who's an Orthodox widow.
Have you done any particular research on the Gigolo lifestyle?
Yeah, I've done plenty of it. I can't really speak publicly about that. No, I've always been interested in the genre. I really have been. I mean, there's in every country they've made films about this, and it's, you know, a lot of classic films. Certainly for women, you know, they've gotten great roles in that genre. You know what I mean? But there are films that, you know, I remember, from McCabe and Mrs. Miller, you know, to Midnight Cowboy, to Nights of Cabiria, you know, La Belle du Jour, you know, I mean, there's so many great films. Never on Sunday, it goes on and on and on. So.
Be ready for the Cannes Film Festival?
I don't think we'll be ready for Cannes. I mean, unless, you know, Woody comes in the editing room with us and, you know, and says, let's do it really. I think we'll probably be more ready for Venice, Toronto.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was excellent.
Okay.
I'm really excited to see the movie.
Okay, thank you. All right.